Clarke, the Director of Museum Affairs here at Drayton Hall. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the exhibit that we have in the Gates Gallery, an agreeable prospect, the creation of a South Carolina colonial palace and garden. This first exhibit in our gallery concentrates on really the time period of John Drayton's life. And one of the stories we tell is about his early life. We don't know much about it from documentary records. No papers survive about John Drayton's early life, or especially his schooling and if he went on a grand tour of Europe. In order to know more about John Drayton's early life, we've really turned to the material culture for clues. And today I'm standing by 4 paintings that are hanging in our gallery. The paintings themselves have a wonderful story about rediscovery. When Miss Charlotta Drayton died in 1969, the family discovered 48 original watercolor paintings in the attic of her home. No one knew at the time who the painter was, but the frontispiece was signed John Drayton, 1733. It was thought for a long time that John Drayton might have been the painter of these watercolors, but in 2006, Carter Hudgens, along with Margaret Pritchard of Colonial Williamsburg and Sumter Pretty, were able to research these watercolors and discovered that the painter was an artist named George Edwards. Now, George Edwards isn't really a household name we know today, but in the 18th century, he was really known as the father of British ornithology. It was the time of the Enlightenment, and there's a vast interest in nature and science, and often these birds were discovered on international voyages and would be brought back either alive or stuffed to England, where the artists and painters would start to draw and replicate them in art. And that's the kind of story that really gives us some clues about John Drayton's education, because we know that the artist of these works, George Edwards, never traveled to North America, even though he painted many North American birds. John Drayton, however, received these 48 watercolors directly from the artist. When George Edwards published his first volume of work 10 years later, John Drayton was the only North American subscriber. So we feel like there's a real connection between the artist and John Drayton. Decorative arts objects such as these watercolors, along with the house that we believe John Drayton designed based on Italian villas in Andrea Palladio's work, really indicate to us that John Drayton did go on a grand tour and was probably educated somewhere in Europe. Of the original 48 works that John Drayton received in 1733, Drayton Hall now retains 21 of them in the Lenhardt collection of George Edwards watercolors at Drayton Hall. The 4 birds displayed here represent birds from 3 continents and demonstrate the global nature of Edwards' work. The white-throated toucan resides in the Amazonian rainforests of South America. The black and white Chinese pheasant in the upper right is found in Asia, and the crowned crane in the lower left is native to Africa. The color combination depicted on the 4th bird, the parrot, is one that so far we've not found in nature. If you know about ornithology or parrots and know where this bird lived, or if it really existed, or maybe it's extinct, please let us know in the comments. We have 4 on display in the gallery right now. We've been rotating them in and out. So when you return to Drayton Hall, please come and check out what birds might be hanging in the gallery upon your return.